I don't know about you, but I despise flies. Always flying around, landing on my horses, annoying them, making them stomp, swish their tails and bite, trying to keep the flies away. Which means I want to do everything that I can to keep those annoying pests away from my boys. And that's what I'm going to share with you right now. Hello my equestrian friends, it's me Lisa, the Budget Equestrian. Welcome back to a new video. And before we start talking about flies and how you can really have a fly-free season, I have something really exciting that I wanted to share with you. Now, I've recently had the opportunity to partner with Sutera, and they introduced me to their Dream Deep Pillow. Now, the Dream Deep Pillow is a memory foam pillow unlike any pillow I have ever tried before. It has a cushion contoured design that adapts the right amount of pressure relief to support you as you sleep. The pillow is shaped to offer support if you're a back sleeper, side sleeper, or even if you like sleeping on your tummy. This pillow will give you support. And because of the way that it's shaped, it reduces back, neck, and joint pressure. These are all things that make it really hard to not only get comfortable while you're sleeping, but to actually stay asleep. And I think one of my favorite qualities of the Dream Deep Pillow is that it's temperature regulating. So that means that when you're sleeping at night, and if you tend to get really hot, the memory foam actually will cool down. So it regulates the temperature, which will help you to sleep better because you're not too hot. The pillow also comes with an ultra soft pillowcase that is removable and washable. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I sleep on my back, sometimes I sleep on my side, and sometimes I sleep somewhere in between. And my Sutera Dream Deep Pillow helps me to stay comfortable and asleep all night long. I love my Sutera Dream Deep Pillow. It really works. I have tried so many different pillows in the past trying to find that perfect pillow so that I get a perfect night's sleep. You probably know what I'm talking about. You lay down, you want to fall asleep, but then you just can't get comfortable. But from the first night that I slept on my Dream Deep Pillow, I got a full night of restful sleep. This is seriously the best pillow I have ever had. So if you're really ready to get a good night's sleep, click on the link to get 20% off your very own Dream Deep Pillow by Sutera. And get ready for a good night's sleep. Isn't that pillow awesome? I am so impressed with my Sutera pillow that I just had to put that in here and share it with you guys too. But enough pillow talk. Now I'm going to share some ideas with you for you and your horse to have a fly-free summer. So a couple of weeks ago I shared with you guys that my husband and I went on an amazing trip to Hawaii. It was awesome. And that was the first time in 10 years that we've actually left our house. We've actually gone on a real vacation. And I was lucky enough to have someone really incredible watch over my horses. And I don't mean this in a mean way or a bad way, but everybody has their own way of cleaning their horses' stalls. And so when I came home, I really had to deep clean the stalls how I like them to be cleaned. And because this video is all about keeping the flies away from your horses, this is the most important thing that I've found that you can do to help keep the flies at a minimum in your barn. And that is to keep your stalls clean. By keeping your horse's stall clean and cleaning the manure and the wet spots at least at one time a day will really help to keep the flies away. And believe it or not, the bedding that you choose to use for your horse's stall can really help to keep the fly population lower. For myself, personally, I really have been impressed with the expandable wood pellet bedding. I have been sold on this ever since I first learned about the pelleted bedding. It expands and absorbs urine, and it's like sawdust when it's expanded, meaning when you're cleaning out your stalls, you'll lose less bedding, and it makes the bedding last longer, which is more affordable. And another thing you can do to really help keep the flies away is getting rid of any odors that you might have in your stall. You can use an ammonia control product like Sweet PDZ or Zeolite, and putting this product on the wet spots really seems to help keep the wetness down, and the ammonia odor is lower too, which helps to keep the flies out of my horse's stalls. Now, keeping your horse's stall clean and odor-free is a really big first step into minimizing the fly population at your barn or in your horse's stall. But there are a couple of other things that you can do too that'll really help give you an extra edge. Keeping food sources to a minimum is really helpful, but it can be challenging, especially if you feed a pelleted or grain type feed for your horse. Especially if you have a horse like mine who likes to wear his breakfast as well as his dinner. So when Pleasant is done eating, and Frisbee for that matter, I take the buckets out of their pens and then I wash them. Removing the excess food and keeping the buckets clean really helps to take away the food source for the flies. And I also try to keep the ground clear where the food accumulates. And this even includes the hay that falls out of the hay nets as well. And of course, one really big helper that you can do is add a supplement to help reduce the fly population, which is basically killing the flies before they can turn into adult flies. And I do this by feeding my horses a supplement called Simplify. And Simplify is a feed-through fly control supplement that I started feeding the beginning of March this year, and I continue feeding it through October. I simply feed this to both of my horses once a day, and it stops the fly larva from being able to turn into an adult fly. Now, the Simplify feed-through larvicide does not hurt the horses at all. In fact, the larvicide doesn't really even start to work until it is passed through your horse's digestive system and ends up in manure on the ground. Then the adult female fly will lay her eggs in the manure, and the larvicide helps to prevent those eggs from turning into adult flies. And this supplement works really well to decrease the amount of stable flies and house flies as well. And ever since I've started feeding this, I have noticed a drastic difference in the amount of flies that are on our property. It's just awesome. It really works to help keep the fly population low. Another thing you can do without having to add anything into your horse's diet is to eliminate standing water. This can be challenging, but keeping the standing water to a minimum can help keep the flies away. If it rains a lot where you live, you can ensure good drainage to help keep your pens dry. This is what I do for Pleasant because he has in his pen an area where the water just kind of sits. So I literally made like a channel so all of the water flows easily out of his pen, and then there's no excess water for the flies to hang out at. And of course, fly spray. Fly spray is an incredible tool that we have as equestrians. There's so many different types of fly sprays, and you can even make your own. I also find that it's really helpful to switch up my fly sprays. So for example, one day I'm going to use one fly spray, 2 days later I will use another fly spray, and then 2 days after that I'll probably use my homemade version of fly spray. And if you're curious about making your own fly spray, I actually have a really great video showing you how to make it yourself. And by switching up the fly sprays, I find that it seems to work better for keeping the flies away from my horses. I also find that having a spray dispenser inside each of my horses' stalls really helps to keep the flies to a minimum inside. I bought a metered fly spray control kit for one stall, but then I found that the Glade spray dispensers fit the metered spray bottles as well. And when I couldn't find the original dispenser like I had for a Pleasant stall, I just went ahead and used the Glade metered spray dispenser in Frisbee stall, and it's worked just as good. Now these spray dispensers do a sploosh of fly spray every 15 minutes or whenever you set it up to sploosh the spray. This has definitely made a big difference to flies staying out of my horse's stalls, and I don't have to go into the stalls every 15 minutes and sploosh a sploosh of fly spray. And there are other things that you can add to your fly control arsenal as well, like fly masks, fly sheets, or even fly boots that you put on your horses. With everything that I've been doing on our property as far as trying to control the fly population, I haven't had to use my horse's fly masks yet this year. So I'm hoping that this continues to be the trend and I don't have a lot of flies. And like I said, the things that I've been doing, these 8 tips that I just gave you, this has been working great for me and my horses, and that's why I decided to make this video, because I thought maybe it would help you. Maybe you're tired of all of the flies bothering your horses, making them stomp their feet, and just making their days miserable. So if you put these 8 different tips into play at your own property, I would be willing to bet that you are going to have less flies this summer, which means you will have more time this summer to enjoy your horses without the flies. If you'd like to learn more about any of the products that I've mentioned in this video, I've left links down below in the description box so you can go check them out for yourself. I buy all of my replaceable fly control products from Coro. Coro is awesome. And if you do set yourself up for their auto ship program, you never have to worry about running out of a product right when you need it. All right, well, I think that is about enough out of me today. I am going to go clean some stalls and put some fly spray on my horses, and then maybe in a little bit Pleasant and I will go on a trail ride. And whatever you're doing, I hope you have a wonderful and fly-free day with your horses. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can watch all my other DIY projects, product reviews, and horse-related videos showing you how to make the most of the time that you have with your horse. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.